There's not a chance in hell that this is funny or gonna work.
Joe Rogan just exposed late-night talk shows from the inside out.
The audience is being cheered on. There's literal applause signs that flash to tell you when to applaud. And like, we'll be right back. Yay! And everybody claps. Is everybody really clapping that you're gonna be right back? Nobody gives a if you're gonna be right back.
Because I think as these supposed comedians are backed into a corner of irrelevance, they keep clawing back for your attention by becoming empty political talking heads instead. Subscribe to Elites Exposed for more, and watch Joe Rogan give one last kick to this dying old media.
I think what you're saying about the late night things is so true, because I remember watching them do monologues with no audience, and I was like, who said okay to this? Why are you doing this? There's not a chance in hell that this is funny or gonna work. And when you see those flat, corny, late night monologue jokes with no audience, those are so cringy. And you're dealing with a lot of these people that are not stand-up comics, so they don't even really truly understand how to deliver it right. Like, they don't have the chops. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. So a bunch of really good joke writers wrote them some stuff, and then they're playing to the audience, and the audience is like laughing, so they get this feedback, and they know how to do that. When they're just them and the camera, you're in the void now. You're in deep space. There's no one around you, and it's wild to watch. And because those shows they don't even exist anymore. There's only a handful of those shows. So like, if you see like how many talk shows are there, there's very few.
Yeah.
There's Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. There's a few. There's only a few.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they stand there, and there's applause signs, and then there's producers. There's the warm-up guy that's literally telling people to clap. They're like, okay, explaining to the people, okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. And everybody claps.
They practice it.
Yes. They'll train the audience how to do it, depending upon the set. But I've seen them do that at different places. I watched, like, the audience is being cheered on. There's literal applause signs that flash to tell you when to applaud. And like, we'll be right back. Yay! And everybody claps. Is everybody really clapping that you're going to be right back? Nobody gives a if you're going to be right back.
And you know what? Coming from someone like Joe Rogan, who single-handedly crushes all these late-night talk shows combined by getting over 10 million listeners every episode, it's certainly got a sting. Because while authenticity is basically kryptonite for the likes of Fallon, Kimmel, or Colbert, it's that unscripted, raw authenticity that's made Joe Rogan the one-man media empire that he is today. And by the way, who even watches late-night talk shows anymore? In fact, who watches cable television these days to begin with? The answer to that is pretty grim for these dying legacy media outlets, according to this YouGov poll. Because for one, most people never even tune in. And even people that do are actually twice as likely to be older liberals instead of conservatives or independents. And that inevitably sets off a positive feedback loop, as these shows have to do everything they can to retain this last bit of audience, even if that means feeding them every BS talking point on social and political issues wrapped up in corny humor. And that's precisely why you see even the guests on these primetime cable TV shows being liberal 99% of the time since the start of this year, according to this pretty startling study from Newsbusters. None of that is an accident. It's the last death throes of a corporate media that knows its days are numbered. And none of these artificial and scripted late-night hosts have the chops to make it big in the wild west of online media anyway. I mean, how long can someone like Jimmy Kimmel survive today without the tens of millions needed to prop him up on the screen, especially with an audience that will forget him at the drop of a hat otherwise?
I read that, and there was people saying, please don't joke about pronouns. It's transphobic to joke about pronouns. So they were chiding him for participating in a joke about pronouns.
So Jimmy Kimmel was doing it. He was doing it too.
Yeah, he was doing it too.
Yeah. No, he was being accused of joking about it too.
So they were upset at him, even though he was attacking the appropriate person. He was doing it in a manner which is also construed as being transphobic. Like, they were saying that his tweet is transphobic.
Do you think that was, in that case, do you think that's him or a writer? Can't you tell?
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
No, it's him, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
good. That's a good one.
He's a comic.
No, that's a good one.
I mean, he used to host The Man Show. I mean, he's done some pretty outrageous shit back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, for he-he's and ha-ha's. He's in this leftist thought bubble.
Uh-huh.
He is in the most leftist thought bubble available, which is Hollywood. And, you know, and I think also, you know, he famously, there's some videos of him in blackface, and those came out, and he had apologized for them. And I think he took that hit and, like, really doubled down the other direction. I mean, that's just speculation. But he, you know, now is a guy that goes after people like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, Elon is thought of as being, because he's willing to put people on with uncomfortable opinions, and he's releasing people that were banned from Twitter because of things that they had said. He's like, as long as you haven't done anything illegal, I'll let you back on.
And for the likes of Jimmy Kimmel, it's a losing game trying to do the same thing over and over again to expect a different result. Because while turning late-night comedy into an overly political lecture may have worked briefly in 2016, you can't fool all of the people all of the time. I mean, the New York Post even did a whole breakdown of every single joke told on Jimmy Kimmel's show this entire past year, and his partisan hackery becomes crystal clear. Not to mention, these are the same people who've made careers out of digging up dirt and slinging it at other people in the garb of comedy. And yet they've also got more skeletons in their closet than you can count. Especially someone like Kimmel, who's literally worn blackface multiple times and even basically assaulted tourists on the street for his so-called man show. Anyone else with baggage like that would think 100 times before casting stones while sitting in a glass house. But after all, that's all they've got. Because just imagine the picture Joe Rogan paints here of what really goes on behind the scenes to prop up these late-night shows, and tell me if this format can survive for a single day outside of dying corporate media.
It doesn't seem like a good way to talk to people. It doesn't seem like it's fun. It seems like it's too much pressure. It seems like there's too many people. It seems like the conversations become fake because you have 5 minutes until you cut to commercial, and they come over with cards, and the executive wants to talk to you, and the producers want to get in your ear, and we just feel like it just needs a little levity. You just need a little levity. So we're gonna bring the jester out. Oh, I'm tired of the jester. I don't like the jester. And then the jester comes out with his little, and everybody goes, the jester's here. And the crowd starts clapping. The audience, they get that sign that says cheer, applause, applause. I've seen too many of them. I think it's a dead medium. I don't like it.
And there's a generational shift happening where the likes of Kimmel, Fallon, and Colbert are destined to be forgotten in the abyss of TV history. And they know it, which is why they're milking it for relevance as long as they can before they're phased out for good. But let me know in the comments if you agree, and subscribe to Elites Exposed for more.